So AEW All In is now happened and it's moved on. But some cool things happened tonight, or today, I guess, in my time. And I want to discuss all of those things, like the debut of Ricochet, Will Ospreay and MJF, Britt Baker, Mercedes Moné. So many things. Nigel McGuinness returning to a wrestling ring. There were just numerous things. Hangman Page, Adam Swerve, Bryan Danielson winning the title. We're going to talk about it all in today's video. But first, guys, my name is Billy Davis. If you guys are new here, definitely be sure to like this video and also be sure to subscribe to the channel, because when you guys do that, we go to a different stratosphere. That's just how it rolls. You know what I'm saying? It's just how it rolls. I have a TikTok down below. I have Discord down below. Everything's down below for you guys to go check out. So without further ado, let's go talk about these things. Oh, what is going on, YouTube? You guys know the drill. Do everything from the beginning. Now, guys, I want to talk, and let's just kick it off. Bryan Danielson is the new AEW World Champion, and yes, this is so deserved. And the storytelling here was absolutely tremendous. It was some of the best storytelling from AEW in a long time, because they played into the idea that Bryan Danielson might retire, and honestly, Swerve played it so well. Swerve, you cannot take it away from him, was a great AEW World Champion, probably one of the better ones from the last couple that we've had, if I'm just being honest. Swerve played the role of the world champion so good. So big kudos to Swerve Strickland. But, guys, Bryan Danielson makes Swerve tap out. He made him tap out. And, honestly, Hangman Page got involved because Hangman has this obsession. He has this sick obsession. It's not with the AEW World Championship. Of course, he wants that. But the real obsession that he has is with Swerve Strickland, because Swerve cost him time. Swerve he turned Hangman into a different person. That's just the reality of it. So Hangman Page getting involved obviously helped continue that story. Now, where Bryan Danielson goes as the new world champion, I'm not 100% sure. I can't sit up and tell you, but I will say that he brought his family into the ring. He had Claudio, he had Wheeler, he had Pac, all of them in the ring. He had Brie, his wife. He had them all in the ring, and it was just a beautiful moment. And AEW All In has been compared to WrestleMania, and I want to say that this is the first time, and obviously we had Daniel Bryan, who won the WWE World Heavyweight Championship back at WrestleMania 30, who created a moment just like this. But Bryan Danielson getting this moment at All In, this felt like the first big moment for All In. This felt important, and I don't believe that there was a better person than Bryan Danielson. It just makes me so happy that we were able to recreate that. It honestly was so beautiful. It was such a moment. The fireworks in Wembley in London, they'll be in Texas next year, but my word, that was a storybook ending, just how Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson, whatever you want to call him, as he does. He creates storybook endings. But that's not it. I want to talk about Ricochet. Ricochet, obviously, we had known signed with AEW, but we weren't sure when he was going to debut. We kind of figured it would be here. I actually booked it a little bit differently. I had him returning as a heel. Sadly, that doesn't look to be the case. It probably looks as if he's going to go into some kind of normal program, and maybe they just build him and show him off to the AEW fan base, which I'm here to tell you that the AEW fan base definitely knows who Ricochet is. He was in for a long time, but Ricochet made his debut. It was absolutely outstanding. He looked great in the match. It was the Casino Gauntlet match. I actually posted a short earlier, and I called it the Casino Battle Royal. So just understand that I was watching. It was the Gauntlet. I was just in a moment. Ricochet had just returned, or debuted. So Ricochet made his ultimate debut. In that same match, Nigel McGuinness actually, I guess you could say, debuted in the ring. How's that sound? He debuted in the ring. Nigel McGuinness is obviously a commentator. He's a commentator back in the WWE. He's now a commentator over in AEW, and we are not sure if this is a one-off, but just very, very happy to see Nigel McGuinness back in a wrestling ring. Obviously, I do understand that Bryan Danielson and Nigel McGuinness did some things way back when in Ring of Honor. So you can obviously, if he wants to continue wrestling, you can continue that story down the line. Just absolutely outstanding stuff. AEW was on a roll tonight. Another thing that I want to talk about is Toni Storm and Mariah May. That match, and this is, we're going to talk about the two women's matches right here. Mariah May and Toni Storm put on a clinic. It was a classic. The reason why those two put on a classic was strictly because of the fact that they had the better story going in rather than Mercedes and Britt Baker, which I will talk about here momentarily. Toni Storm and Mariah May put on a classic. It was a great match. They told a story. It made sense. The crowd was hot. The crowd wanted it. The crowd was into it. It was everything that we wanted out of that match. It was beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Mariah May is the new AEW Women's World Heavyweight champion. Obviously, so rightfully deserved. Kudos to Mariah May. But following that up with the other big women's match on the card was Britt Baker and Mercedes Moné. Now, this story just felt off. There was really no story to it, if I'm being honest. The reason that this match was what it was is because it was the biggest AEW superstar taking on the biggest newcomer in AEW. That was the story. There was no heat behind it. It felt lackluster. I know the last couple minutes of the match, they really picked it up, and the crowd was starting to get behind it, but the crowd was dead for most of the match. And I just felt like Mariah May and Toni Storm should have had the spot that Britt Baker and Mercedes Moné had, because I understand that you want to do that match. I get it. All in, blah, 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 whatever. Just overall, I think you could have built that up a little bit more over time. But again, you still have opportunities to do so. You don't have to go away. You can continue to tell a story between the two of them and let the story continue. Mercedes Moné, she retained the TBS World Heavyweight, or the TBS World Championship. But overall, this was a phenomenal show. We seen the return of Sting. On the pre-show, we seen the return of Jamie Hayter, which I don't know if that would have been the place that I would have had her return, but she was at the show, and she attacked Saraya. So, overall, a good show. Like I said, Sting returned. Jamie Hayter made her return. Just naturally a very, very good show that I was a fan of. Christian ended up, he's going to have a world title shot, and I can imagine that'll be at All Out, if I'm not mistaken, which is a safe bet. Safe bet. Christian is the safe bet to get a world title shot, especially against Bryan Danielson. 2-week build, move it on, let Luchasaurus attack Christian. Let's tell that story, because God knows we need to tell that story really bad. But other than that, I want to say that that's all I got for you guys today. AEW All In was absolutely fantastic. It was something that I believe all of us wanted. I believe Tony Khan did a great job at giving us one of the best shows that he possibly could. Moment after moment after moment, that's what we're looking for here, is moments. So yeah, guys, my name is Billy TKO. If you're new here, definitely be sure to like this video. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I want to get your guys' thoughts, so let me know everything down in the comments section below. Were you guys a fan of All In? Were you guys not? There's a TikTok down there where I do live reactions to all the shows and stuff like that. I did not today just because AEW, and, I've seen that creators have been banned and stuff like that. We're just not even going to put our account at that kind of risk. But, yes, TikToks of live reactions. There's a Discord down below. You guys can become a part of the family. I just appreciate you guys all being here. Other than that, that's all I got. I'll be talking to you later. Peace.